Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of ETV News. I'm Amanda Zeitel.
And I am Jada Furlow.
A 14-year-old boy has been charged with a juvenile count of murder for killing his pregnant mother. Investigators believe the teen acted alone when he murdered his 33-year-old mom at her Texas home. The mother was identified as Nita Mosley, and she was 4 months pregnant. Her son was found in Houston the following day, along with a car from the family's home. Police haven't yet released a possible motive. Details of the mother's death have not been made public, but an autopsy was scheduled for Tuesday. A neighbor said she did any and everything for her son. They got along great.
Another chapter in what has been a long 2 years for Minnesota Vikings running back Adrian Peterson has been closed, as the man who allegedly beat his 2-year-old son to death on October 13th has been convicted of second-degree murder in a South Dakota courtroom on Tuesday. Joseph Patterson, 29, was also found guilty of first-degree manslaughter and aggravated battery in the death of Tyrus Robert Ruffin, according to the Associated Press. Ruffin was Peterson's son with Peterson's girlfriend. Following 2 weeks of testimony, the jury deliberated for just 5 hours. Peterson's lawyers stuck to the story their client offered on a 9/11 call the night of the boy's death. The Ruffin choked on a fruit snack. Patterson was taken into police custody that night, October 9th, 2013, after doctors determined the boy's injuries were consistent with abuse. An autopsy revealed Ruffin sustained 4 blows to the head while under Patterson's care. He now faces life in prison.
Shadae Nix was charged with reckless endangerment and risk of injury to a minor, her own 4-year-old daughter, after she was found wandering the streets of Hartford. Shadae's bond was set at $50,000 after her court appearance. Police said the child was unharmed but was not returned to her mother. The child is now being cared for by the state while police look for other family members who can care for her.
UConn student dies. Very sad news to report that there has been another tragic loss of a student for the UConn community. Officials from UConn said they learned that Robert Kears, a senior in the School of Business, has died Monday morning at Wyndham Hospital after being transported from Wilmington. State police said that they are actively investigating Kears' death and are waiting on autopsy reports before releasing any additional information. According to the school officials, Kears is the 4th UConn undergraduate to pass away unexpectedly since early August. UConn spokesman Stephanie Reitz said, "We grieve for each of these valued students and thank others in Connecticut for extending their support to our campus community and those touched by these painful losses."
Hurricane Joaquin is predicted to hit the Bahamas and then possibly target the East Coast next. With a center spinning 175 miles and winds up to 85 miles per hour, it is predicted that this storm will become even stronger and may become a major hurricane. A hurricane hasn't hit the eastern United States since Hurricane Arthur hit in 2014. This may change in the next few days. The path of Joaquin is difficult to predict at this point, but most forecasts predict it will make its way to the East Coast at some point in the next week and hit anywhere from North Carolina to Long Island Sound. Eastern states should prepare themselves for heavy rainfall at the very least and possible flooding.
After a month-long investigation by Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, prosecutors declined to charge Caitlyn Jenner in connection with a fatal multi-car accident earlier this year. Jenner could have filed a misdemeanor manslaughter charge, but sources familiar with the investigation said there was a number of mitigating factors, including the fact that Jenner wasn't driving recklessly or excessive speed, didn't flee the scene, traveled with the flow of traffic, and wasn't on a cell phone at the time. Jenner's attorney, Blair Burke, said, "We believe from the start that a thorough and objective investigation would clear Caitlyn of any criminal wrongdoing."
Now to a debate that's making the rounds once again. Should the legal drinking age be reduced to 18? Advocates say lowering it could reduce the current number of binge drinking cases on college campuses. Students would drink more responsibly if they could legally buy alcohol at bars and restaurants. But along with that thinking comes brand new research from Eastern Virginia Medical School. It found that lowering the legal drinking age could lead to more high school dropouts. Back in the 1970s and 80s, some states lowered the drinking age to 18 and found a higher dropout rate. While the findings don't prove that lowering the drinking age leads to higher dropout rates, researchers say there could be a link.
Republican candidate Jeb Bush and Democrat candidate Bernie Sanders made jaw-dropping announcements today regarding contributions to their respective campaigns. First, Super PAC-fueled Jeb Bush announced that today the Right to Rise Super PAC has primarily funded source has raised an astounding $103 million in the first 6 months of the campaign. Bernie Sanders announced today that he has officially received 1 million individual donations. Sanders had reached this benchmark faster than any presidential campaign in American history. While Jeb Bush continues to be funded by billionaires and corporate interests, Bernie Sanders is truly funded by the American population with an average contribution of just $24.86.
For 38 years, a few black and white photographs have provided the comfort for Amanda Scarpinati of Albany, New York, who suffered terrible burns as a baby and endured years of bullying and torment from the painful surgeries thereafter. The photos show Scarpinati at just 3 months old with her nurse that took care of her from the very beginning. All her life, Scarpinati wanted to thank the nurse who showed such a loving care, but she didn't even know her name. 20 years ago, Scarpinati tried to find the woman but failed. However, just this month, the burn victim was able to locate her childhood nurse with the help of over 5,000 shares on Facebook. They were reunited last Tuesday in the medical center conference room as a room full of cameras snapped some new pictures to add to the original black and white ones Scarpinati clung to all her life. Both were overjoyed and truly blessed to come in contact once again after all these years.
Edward Snowden has resurfaced from the depths of social media to join Twitter. Commendations and condemnations alike followed. Within 4 hours, he amassed over 400,000 followers and was trending internationally. The first tweet from Snowden's account was, "Can you hear me now?" Yet some, like former New York Republican Governor George Pataki, who tweeted him directly saying, "You are just a traitor who put American lives at risk." And it appears that Snowden will be bringing a sense of humor to the social media platform. The first and last account that he followed was the NSA.
And we'll be right back with this week's editorial.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Information on hot water heating.
No. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out the words.
World music, playing track now.
No.
Let me try. Our daughter gets confused about which details in a story are important.
Which paper towels are most absorbent?
What?
Here are 5 product reviews.
Why are you not getting me?
See, I told you.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
And we're back with Jess Dodd and this week's editorial.
Hello, I'm Jess Dodd and I'm coming to you from ETV News. This segment of our broadcast is called Consider This. Events and situations ranging from a world perspective down to this local university will be discussed. Our world is dynamic and ever-changing. All of these changes affect us, and to be uninformed is to be put at risk. Consider, decide, and act. Today's topic is our upcoming presidential elections. Although it is still 15 months away, it is dominating national and even worldwide attention. Why? We are a democratic country with free will, free speech, and elections. Our presidential elections are followed worldwide with great attention, and for good reason. As much as some would disagree, America has the world's attention. We have been a stabilizing force, socially, economically, and militarily. As most of you are aware, there are political debates going on. This upcoming election could be one of the most important for our country's history. Because we are at crossroads, the path we take determines our future. Never have we been so divided. Other than world wars, never have our choices been so important. We have two parties. The Democratic side is primarily settled. The Republican side, however, is wide open, with many striving to become the most powerful person in the world. The national attention, especially in the debates so far, is significant. There are 3 candidates currently who are receiving significant attention, and all of them are outsiders, regular citizens just like you and I. 2 are business people, Donald Trump and Carly Fiorina, and 1 is a retired surgeon, Dr. Ben Carson. Why are they suddenly so popular? Is there something deeper going on here? Going by recent polls, there seems to be support for the non-Washington prospects and disgust for the career insiders. A billionaire with big hair is leading the way. Why? Because so many people are the backbone of this country and have had it with everything. These are some of the most important issues facing our present and future leaders. One Republican candidate is very outspoken and even abrasive. Donald Trump doesn't really have a well-thought-out platform, yet he has captured the nation's attention. Why? He speaks to the heart of many Americans, not so much the mind. Politicians seem to be out of favor, and people who are looking for someone who can truly care for our country and can lead us forward. It's time for a change. What has been acceptable will not be going forward. We need to be authentic and, most importantly, brave. Our future depends on it. This is Jess Dodd, and this is the way I see it.
The inherent right to work is one of the elemental privileges of a free people. Endowed, as our nation is, with abundant physical resources, and inspired as it should be, with the high purpose to make those resources and opportunities available for the enjoyment of all. We approach this problem of re-employment with the real hope of finding a better answer than we have now.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia?
Let's do it.
What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues?
7 no-hitters in 1990.
Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year?
Huh.
The answer? 3 out of 4.
75%?
That's
wow.
right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
Willimantic police arrested 6 Eastern Connecticut State University students Sunday morning after breaking up 2 off-campus parties. Neighbors witnessed many students urinating in their backyards and scattering empty cups across their lawn, prompting them to contact the police. The police escorted roughly 25 students from the parties, ranging in age from 19 to 21. The 6 students who were allegedly running the parties were arrested and taken to the local jail. Residents in these areas say they caused quite a commotion Saturday night and Sunday morning. Willimantic police officers want it to be known that disturbing and destroying the community will not be tolerated and want students to understand that the tax-paying residents of this city will not allow these disturbances to affect their everyday lives.
Wednesday morning, a Willimantic SWAT team swarmed 2 residents on Pearl Street, taking several individuals into custody. Allegedly, illegally, narcotics were being sold out of the houses. Law enforcers were on the scene at about 9:30 a.m. and remained there until noon, during which period of the time they closed down the entire road. Several police cars, a SWAT vehicle, and a canine patrol were brought to investigate. From this point on, there has been no further information given.
Are you interested in learning more about what a green campus is and what Eastern is doing to make our campus green? There will be a Green Campus Tour October 7th to help give students a better understanding of Eastern and its efforts to keep this campus green. The tour will meet by the clock tower at 3:50 and will begin at 4.
This week's Cab Fall Fest was in full swing. We check in with Zoe Zarenda, who was at the Cab Ariel Circus.
I'm Zoe Zarenda, and I am here at another CAB event, the Ariel Ruckus Circus Show at the Francis E. Geisler Gymnasium. We're all here. We're all really excited. There was a mime here earlier, and things are about to get crazy.
On September 25th, 2015, students from ECSU gathered for another CAB event in the Francis E. Geisler Gymnasium. There was a fairly good turnout for the Ariel Circus Show. Students entered and were instantly excited when joined by the mime. There was a great balance in the acts, no pun intended, between humor and awe. Both the juggler and the mime kept everyone laughing, while the aerialists left the audience silent. Though there were only 6 performers in the show itself, they all brought their unique and impressive talents into play. Audience members were kept engaged in the show because you didn't know what was going to happen next. For example, when an audience member themselves entered the show. Nothing makes a crowd laugh more than when a peer is thrown into a circus show. After the performers took their bow, we caught up with the campus activity board to talk about their upcoming events.
So next Saturday, October 3rd, we have the late night luau. So there we're going to have Hawaiian dancers and instructors and some Hawaiian food and other Hawaiian-inspired activities. And for all the other upcoming CAB events, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and most recently a Snapchat. So all of our handles are at CAB Eastern. And then we post about upcoming events, current events, giveaways, and all that good stuff.
Are you going to snap me back?
Sometimes we snap back. Post a lot of stories about what's going on.
Gotcha.
You might get a snap of us in the office.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you.
And that's all from us here at the Ariel Circus Show. I'm Zoe Zarenda from ETV News, and have a good night.
Thanks, Zoe. Looked like a great time for all who attended.
Eastern will be hosting their first American Red Cross blood drive of the school year, October 5th to the 6th. The blood drive will take place in the Betty Tipton Room from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. For all those interested, please be sure to bring either your Eastern ID, driver's license, or a blood donor card with you. Make sure that you have had a light meal and drink plenty of water. To make an appointment, go to redcrossblood.org or contact Nancy Brennan. And please remember, the need for blood is constant, the gratification is instant, and your gift of life will make a difference to someone in need.
Tommy Fund Eastern students will be participating in this year's Tommy Fund for Childhood Cancer. The Tommy Fund 5K Run or 3-mile walk will take place on Saturday, October 4th at Yale University in New Haven. The Tommy Fund provides emotional, educational, medical, and financial support to children with cancer and their families. It is partnered with the Smallow Cancer Hospital at Yale New Haven and the Yale School of Medicine. Students will be participating in the run or walk or volunteer with running the event. Eastern's vans will leave at 7 a.m. to be on time for registration, and the event is planned to end around 11 a.m. If you are interested in volunteering, please contact Emily Cameron.
Recently, the Cardiff brothers performed in the Student Center Cafe. ETV reporter Lupe Marquez was there to catch the event.
I'm Lupe Marquez reporting for ETV News, bringing you a new segment called Music Connection, where we're at the Student Center Cafe watching the Cardiff brothers perform. Let's check it out. On Wednesday, September 16th, pop hip-hop duo the Cardiff brothers performed in the Student Center Cafe for CAB's Music Lounge. We spoke with CAB coordinator Natalie Burnell to see how the event went.
It went really well. There was really high energy, and I think everyone really enjoyed it.
The brothers are originally from Rhode Island and started making music seriously just a few years back. We spoke to the pair to see how they started out.
It got started. I wanted to be a producer, and I started, looking into that. And I was working with a lot of local artists and stuff. And I could never count on anybody, so I started trying to get Jake to rap. So I had some material to work with. And he wasn't having it. He was like, no, dude, I'm not doing it. I don't know, I think he was just scared. And eventually I convinced him. He started rapping and the rest is history.
We spoke with longtime supporter Mariah Kinney, who traveled to Eastern to attend the event.
I loved it. It was really fun. I'm from Boston, so I drove 2 hours and 10 minutes from my job. I've been friends with them for 2 years, since 2013, so I pretty much just go wherever they go.
With their unique sound, the brothers are making a big impact on the charts. Their first full-length album was released September 29th, and it charted number 28 on the Pop iTunes chart. The duo spoke about the process of recording and producing the album.
It's been over the course of the last year. We've put out 2 projects previous to this in the last year, and now we're following it up with the album. So that's gonna be 3 projects within a year, 2 EPs and an album. And we have so many other songs we're just kind of sitting on. We've got a lot of plans for the future, but overall, I'd say about a year. We just finished up a song, literally 2 days ago that we started a year ago. We kind of just start it, and then we'll come back to this. It starts as an idea, and eventually we piece it together.
It's alright, but it's not. Time's running low. I'm on the road, so far from home. And it's the one shot. Things get tough, but we won't stop. In the parking lot, out of Marriott, out of Marriott, out of Marriott.
The Cardiff brothers' performance was electric. Be sure to check out their new album on iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud. That's it for this week Eastern. I'm Lupe Marquez reporting for ETV News, and that was your Music Connection.
Thank you, Lupe, for the report.
Looking for something fun to do this Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m.? Join CAB for a Hawaiian luau. Get in the spirit by making a Hawaiian lei while enjoying the large assortment of luau-themed food. End the night by watching a hula dancer show or even learning how to hula dance yourself. Hope to see you all at the Student Center this Saturday night.
And we'll be right back with this week's sports update.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave. Okay, but remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Oh,
I'm Andrew Fitzgerald with this week's sports update. The Eastern men's soccer team took on Western Connecticut this past Saturday in what turned out to be a huge conference victory for the Warriors. Sophomore forward Xavier Doran scored a hat trick in the first half, while junior forward Tyler Jones added the fourth goal in the 80th minute. Freshman goalie Ryan Murphy was unable to protect the shutout when Western freshman forward Chauncey Allers drilled a shot past him with 20 minutes left in the contest. The Warriors also beat Salem State this past Tuesday and will host Keene State this Saturday at 1 p.m. at Nevers Field. After a scoreless first half from the field hockey team, they were able to connect the dots and tally up some goals. Seniors Laura Chikorka and Brianna Passero, along with junior Paige Snyder, each scored goals 13 minutes apart from each other. Hannah Kaiser contributed with a pair of assists, and junior goalie Samantha Scavo preserved the shutout as the ladies improved to 3-3 overall and 1-1 in the Little East Conference. They will travel to Worcester State this Saturday. The Warriors traveled to Western Connecticut on Saturday, which was yet another tough conference game. Junior midfielder Haley Lenning scored the only goal of the match 11 minutes into the second half, while senior keeper Rachel Skelton made 4 saves to secure her 11th career shutout. Sophomore forward Haley Betcher contributed with an assist as well. They will travel to Keene State this Saturday. No Jordan Nelson, no problem. The Packers defeated the Chiefs 38-28 on Monday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers threw for 333 yards and 5 touchdowns, 3 of which went to Randall Cobb. Like always, the Patriots blew out the Jaguars 51-17 and will go into their bye week. Ben Roethlisberger will be out 4 to 6 weeks with a sprained MCL in his left ankle, giving the starting job to backup quarterback Michael Vick. They were able to hang in the game during parts of the first half, but UConn simply couldn't beat Navy's tricky triple option offense as they fell 28-18. UConn will travel to BYU on Friday. Ohio State still remains number 1 in the AP Top 25 rankings at 4-0. They will travel to Indiana on Saturday. The Blue Jays, Royals, Mets, Cardinals, Pirates, Cubs, and Dodgers have all punched a ticket to the 2015 postseason. The Yankees had a chance to clinch their first postseason berth since 2012 with the win on Monday night against the Red Sox, but couldn't pull it off, dropping a 5-1 decision. They were blown out again the next night, 10-4. Hopefully, they can get it together. That's all I've got for tonight. For ETV Sports, I'm Andrew Fitzgerald. See you next week.
And that's it for this week's show. If you want to see more episodes, visit the ETV YouTube channel.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next week. Good night, Eastern.